Need Pokemon Go PvP coaching? Well, I'm on Metafy, so click the link in the video description. It'll take you right to my page. What's up, guys? Got another Holiday Cup video, second one, and unsurprisingly, we have a Rockhold team. I love breaking out the double Rock Throw, double Smackdown in the themed cups that we normally get. Before we get into it, huge shout out to my Patreon supporters. Could not be doing this without you guys. But yeah, let's get right into this video while I explain the team. So, team, we have Tropius, Alolan Graveller, and Alolan Golem. Rock types are at a premium in this cup, obviously beating mainly the ice types and the flying types, which are probably the two strongest types in all of Holiday. So unsurprisingly, a team with rock type moves is going to be successful. You might be thinking, oh no, but I don't have a Tropius. What can I possibly do? So there's a couple of opportunities to replace Tropius here. You can run something like Venusaur, I think is pretty solid. If you run Trevenant, but you were gonna just hard lose to Obstagoon in general. But I have heard people have been running something very similar with Trevenant, and then I think the other option is Shadow Victreebel, but it's the kind of the same, or Shadow Victreebel or Whimsicott, but it's the same thing where your entire team will get soloed by Venusaur. So it really depends on which Pokemon you're seeing your meta bans. If you're seeing Venusaur, maybe you want to go Trevenant. If you're seeing a lot of Obstagoon, maybe you want to go with Victreebel. So you do have some options. Let's talk about movesets. I do opt for Rock Throw over Volt Switch. I spent a lot of time trying both of them out. I didn't have a lot of success with Volt Switch. It just turned out the farm down potential that you kind of need to carry energy into the next matchup wasn't as good there. I'm running a Graveler as the switch just because it is a bit tankier and has a little bit of some better matchups, whereas a Golem is a pretty good closer at the end with Wild Charge. So I am running Wild Charge on a Golem instead of Stone Edge. But yeah, no need for Thunderbolt on a Graveler. The rest of the moveset's very standard. You need Rock Blast because you don't have that high energy potential. You're going to be getting to moves quite slowly. Anyways, let's get into this first game. We have Alolan Graveler lead, not a great lead. Going to get right into our Graveler. And now we have Rock Throw versus Volt Switch. And I think this matchup kind of depends on baits. But Rock Throw sometimes wins the 2-shield, sometimes it doesn't. So I'm going to no-shield this one. I've learned to kind of shield because if they do Stone Edge, you're in a lot of trouble. In this case, I decide to, once again, no-shield because this one's guaranteed a Rock Blast, but probably should have shielded because they get the farm down, and now I'm at the risk of having to shield anyways on a different Pokemon. So this is still me learning these matchups. But slowly but surely, you'll see my play evolve a little bit, even just throughout these 3 sets, as to how to play them a little bit better. So it was a good sign when they did not swap out of the Alolan Graveler to the Alolan Graveler matchup. It means they did not have a better answer to it, which means that Alolan Golem is about to pop off Shield once and farm down the Frostlass. And then it's a Drifblim in the back. This is going to be a very easy Rock Blast to get the shields. And even if they don't shield, I think that's fine. And then we'll just one more and grab this Wild Charge, which will almost certainly KO at this HP. So yeah, there's oftentimes a lot of teams where Graveler and Golem have no real hard counters. And if there's no real hard counters to either of these, you're in business for sure. And there's not a lot of hard counters. Like Stunfisk, yes. Vigoroth, yes. It's tough. But so we have another bad lead here. It's Alolan Ninetales. Charm, though. But we swap out either way. In comes Vigoroth. So we got hard countered on the switch as well. Just going to throw a Rock Blast because it'll get this Vigoroth nice and low. They shield anyways, which is honestly the perfect scenario here. I'm not going to shield this. They throw the Body Slam, and Tropius should be able to come in and get a decent farm and soak up a lot of this energy, because this Vigoroth has probably 65 energy at that point, because I'm sure they were at 100. Either way, these Body Slams start to really just come out. Get a little bit of an Air Slash in there, because they threw just 2 counters. So getting to that Leaf Blade and a little bit of extra energy. Going to be able to get this Leaf Blade on this Vigoroth, deal a hefty amount of damage, take it out, and with a shield advantage, hopefully Alolan Golem in the back can carry. So in comes Alolan Marowak, and this is absolutely great because Alolan Golem beats both of these Pokemon, and not just one at a time, it'll be able to beat both of them with 2 shields. Charm 8-9 does deal quite a bit of fast move damage, but with Rock Throw, you don't have to worry about shields like you would with Volt Switch. In this case, Alolan Marowak comes in, we're going to throw some good timing, just throw 1 Rock Throw each time, and then get the Rock Blast off. In this case, I probably should have went for the Wild Charge, because Wild Charge does do a little bit more damage than Rock Blast. So, a bit of a mistake, small mistake for me. Sorry, Wild Charge does more damage than Rock Blast when Rock Blast is super effective and Wild Charge is neutral, or it's one stage away. So if that'll help you decide which move to throw. In this case, we have Stunfisk lead. They're going to swap out right away to Litleo, and this is a fantastic situation. Litleo, especially the Ember version, well, I mean, Firefang is the same thing. They only get to one move, and the Crunch doesn't do enough just because the Embers are kind of meh. They even get the defense drop, so this is worst case scenario. Alolan Graveller still has a great matchup here. In comes the Stunfisk, and it's a good thing I came with Alolan Graveller. If it's a Stunfisk lead, come with the Graveller, because you'll be able to hit it back harder with Stone Edge, and if they're not running Mudshot, at least force them to throw here. But they don't. So they're at 100 energy. We're going to get to the Stone Edge anyways. Dealing a bunch of damage to the Stunfisk is a great thing, because maybe we'll be able to farm it down with another Pokemon, but they swap out right away. And I swap right into Alolan Golem, right into Vigoroth. Yeah, so you might be thinking this is a little bit questionable. Well, it is. It is a questionable play. The correct play would probably be to stay in with the Tropius until they're about to get to a Body Slam and attempt to catch the Body Slam. In this case, they farm all the way down and have a ton of energy to throw at the Tropius now. So, rule of thumb, when you have 2 Pokemon left, you don't want to be in with the Pokemon that can get farmed down, because this is the situation you put yourself into. That's okay. I'm going to go for a farm down of my own here. I think that'll be exciting. The problem is, unfortunately, their Stunfisk has not just one move, but like a billion moves, and this Vigoroth also did. But yeah, very good energy management by my opponent. They had 200 energy over 2 Pokemon. It's kind of crazy. Yeah, so if I had just stayed in a little bit with the Tropius against the Vigoroth, it would have been a different story, and I think I would have been able to win that one as well. So a little bit of a misplay by me. So Vigoroth lead, exactly where I want to see it, and in comes the Sableye. So this isn't the greatest matchup, but it looks like I will be able to win the 2 shield here, so that's what I'm going to go for. Sableye, with that little bit of an energy advantage, is going to make it very tough on this Graveler, but they're going to shield up the Rock Blast for sure, and it's all about just tapping the screen. You can see I switched the 4-finger tap method just to try and sneak moves through, so I can take the Sableye down. And yeah, it's like they're right at the move as they go down. So a slower swap is going to be a bit of a disaster. I'm not going to get to 2 moves here. Be careful about what move you throw. A lot of the times, if you can't get to 2 moves, Stone Edge is the much better move, and it'll win you games. So in comes the Frostlass, and they hard swap it. So I'm going to bring the A Golem. Golem can tank a move here. Even as a Shadow Ball, it's just kind of very risky. And going to get to the Rock Blast, which is kind of important as well. Need to strip this last shield off this Frostlass or take it out. And I'm going to come back in with the Graveler to try and take them out or make them throw. And simultaneous KO is great because now Tropius has this matchup versus Vigoroth and doesn't have to take that Avalanche. So IVs do end up mattering there. My IVs on my Golem and Graveler are pretty decent. The Tropius one's not so much. But you're going to see a lot of these games end up being very close. We're going to pull out 4 wins with them first ever set with this specific team. I don't think I ever went... Oh no, I ended up going negative, but I climbed far past where I am at the end of this video. Even so, we have another Alolan Graveler lead. Let's get out of there. I miss my switch button. That was not intentional. We want to get out right away, and in comes Vigoroth. So in this case, going to build up a little bit. I've realized now after this game that you never get to 2 moves versus Vigoroth. So you might as well just throw the Stone Edge. Because if they bait, then they're going to get a lot more energy out of the situation. Whereas if you throw the Stone Edge, you can guarantee that shield. So yeah, a lot of the strategy in the switch area is about the Alolan Graveler. So you can see once I've lost switch and now my Tropius is locked in against this Graveler, it's no longer about preserving the HP on my Tropius. It's about farming this Vigoroth down. So they get a counter and a Body Slam in through there. Very interesting play. Going to be very low, and they're going to come with Talonflame, try and snipe my Tropius, but my fingers are a little bit too quick for that. And this is the matchup you absolutely love to see. No real reason to shield this one, I don't think. But at the same time, my Golem is now very low, and this Vigoroth is kind of low too, but these counters are really going to add up. Luckily, they come in with the Graveler instead. I think thinking that they'd get farmed down. Right, rule of thumb, you don't want to come in with a Pokemon that gets farmed down. In this case, though, it is a little bit sketchy. Because I think they want to be able to snipe my, my Golem. But at the same time, their Vigoroth is so low. Yeah, they can't quite get it done, and because Volt Switch is a 4-turn move and Rock Throw is a 2-turn move, we're going to be able to get this Rock Blast off, get the last shield, and Tropius has that Leaf Blade loaded, going to pick up yet another win, And shout out to Alolan Golem's attack animation. Very, very awesome attack animation. Just bouncing up and down, just stomping on some kids. Not literally, but honestly, one of the best Pokemon animations in Pokemon Go, at least. Venusaur lead, this is where you love to see it. Obviously demolishes the backline. In comes Graveller. This was the first time I've had a Graveller switch in, so I was a bit confused about what I should do. I throw the Leaf Blade to grab the shield first, and then I come in with my my Graveller. Unfortunately, so I try and make the bait call again. And this is where I learned not everybody baits. In fact, a lot of people don't bait. So I think I don't shield this, and then I decide to take the shield advantage and come in with my Alolan Golem instead. Unfortunately, no, they don't get to this move, I don't think. Yeah, this is just a Rock Blast. I'm counting pretty accurately here. Played a lot of Alolan Graveller and Golem myself. I know the counts quite well, and because they change each time, it's 3 to the first Rock Blast, 2 to the second, and then Stone Edge it's 4 and then 3. So Venusaur comes back in. We're going to get right out of there and just hope that they don't have another strong answer to Tropius. They're going to throw a probably Sludge Bomb. Going to shield it up. I have to keep my Tropius healthy at this point. I still have 2 shields. And they come in with their own Alolan Golem. So this is essentially the team that I told you guys you could also run. You can run it with Venusaur as well. But the Tropius version does have an advantage a little bit. They could have come in right away, though, with their... instead of just letting me farm a little bit on their Golem. That probably would have been their win condition. But the thing is, generally the first person that switches will win the game. So Venusaur might actually have a little bit of an advantage. Their Graveler gets a little bit of an energy lead, and then I have to bring my Graveler in, and it's just a whole ordeal. In this case, Venusaur is going to get to a move. So it is going to come down to the wire. Sludge Bomb takes out the Tropius, but Alolan Golem a little bit too healthy, able to just bounce that Venusaur out of the club and take another win. Next game, we have a Wigglytuff lead. So not a bad lead, not a great lead either. In this case, I like to soften up a little bit. If you don't, then Wigglytuff can just take out your backline. So we're going to throw a Leaf Blade and then swap immediately. Unfortunately, Wigglytuff will always get to a move here regardless of sneaks, which is unfortunate. So be prepared to shield once. But with this farm down, you actually get enough energy to really threaten something else. I'm going to throw a Rock Blast against this Altaria. And the fact that they swap Altaria into Alolan Graveler is a very good sign for their backline. I'm starting to think Talonflame. Fortunately, my Graveler doesn't quite live there. And I really have to make a tough decision. I'm going to come in with the Golem and attempt to farm this thing down as well. I'm going to shield up what is hopefully a Moonblast. And they do go straight for it. Sky Attack is double resisted, so it really doesn't do any damage at all. Going to get the one shield farm down and see what they decide to come back in with. Yeah, feel like it's a Talonflame in the back, right? Like if you're quitting out in that scenario, it's probably a Talonflame in the back. If you're swapping an Altaria into a Golem, it's probably a Talonflame in the back. Anyways, we have a bad lead once again, Abomasnow, and we have a bad switch too. Unfortunately, Abomasnow very good against Tropius, but Stunfisk even better against Graveler. One Mud Bomb is going to be enough to take out Graveler. We'll see how greedy this player gets. They don't get greedy at all. They are ready to just throw this Mud Bomb and take my Graveler out of there. Tropius is going to come back in and probably have to eat some energy here. But like I said, remember, if you lose lead, it's more about what you can farm than your HP. So I don't mind taking these 2 discharges. This is perfectly fine. In fact, why not even take yet another discharge? Unfortunately, I'm in a rough spot if they do decide to switch out here. So that's why I think I probably should have thrown my Leaf Blade. If they team read me properly, the swap out here is fantastic move. But they don't. So very lucky here. I do have my 2 Leaf Blades now. They're going to come in with the Alolan Marowak. And unfortunately, Alolan Golem doesn't beat Marowak hard enough. These Bone Clubs are double super effective. And even Abomasnow here, I have to shield up Weather Balls. Otherwise, I'm going to get taken out by this fast move pressure here. So I try to farm all the way down because that's my win condition, but Tropius just really had nowhere to go, and Abomasnow's able to Energy Ball the Golem out of there and Powder Snow down the Tropius as well. So we're going to lose that one. That was a very tough lead and a very tough switch. All right, Alolan Ninetales, another tough lead. And we're going to get out of here. This time, it is actually Powder Snow. First Powder Snow A9 I've seen in a very long time. And they're going to stay in. So they're going up to the Gleam. And I know if they go for the Gleam, I can get the Rock Blast first, so force them to shield. And then here they go. I'm going to shield up. And they actually do go for the Dazzling Gleam. So respect to my opponent for not baiting. In comes Lanturn. A bit surprising they didn't come in earlier with it, and they allowed me to deal so much damage. I decided to go up only to the Rock Blast because I'm trying to CMP tie. This is what you want to do versus Lanturn. You want to CMP tie them at 10 for Hydro Pump, because then if they exit with no energy, your Tropius can kind of just go to town. I don't wait the switch timer, right? Waiting for the switch timer is for babies. That's just a joke. I don't wait the switch timer here because I want to lock this Lanturn in. I don't want it to be able to swap out. Like I mentioned, the Stunfisk could be able to swap out last time. In this case, I'm going to throw this Leaf Blade. I now have 2 Leaf Blades, which is great. And I'm going to be looking to swap anyways here, regardless of what they bring in. And yeah, it's a Talonflame, so even better. Talonflame comes out, Golem comes out, and it's just GG. People are saving everyone some time in Holiday Cup this time around. That's the true gift we could be giving each other. It's the gift of time and top lefting. Either way, another 4-1 set here. And we'll see how this team keeps rolling. Lickitung lead. So this is the first time I've seen this in Holiday Cup 2. It's a bit of a tricky one. Once again, you kind of have to soften it up a little bit. This isn't a Pokemon that Graveler and Golem really want to face because they do fear that Power Whip. In this case, I wait for them to throw a move because I don't want any residual energy on this Lickitung, but then I get right out of there. Tropius versus Lickitung is a very safe matchup for Tropius, but at the same time, you have to draw out the Grass type in the back, otherwise you run into these problems. So in comes Venusaur. You're going to throw right away, and a lot of the time, you'll be able to CMP there, but this player shields up, farms up a little bit more. They don't want me throwing another move, so they're going to throw the Frenzy Plant, and then Tropius can come in, and this is perfect. If you land the Rock Blast on Venusaur, it puts it in like perfect farm down range for your Tropius. Unfortunately, in this case, it would be able to take me out, so I will shield. They actually bait me. Kind of disrespectful considering they can't get to the next move anyways. And in comes Lickitung. And this is, in this scenario, because Tropius's charge moves deal quite a bit of damage to Lickitung, then I'm really okay spending a shield on that switch. Because it wasn't a hard loss lead, so that's why I don't mind spending a shield. In this case, we have Meganium with no shields in the back now, so this was a very hard counter backline, double Grass backline versus double Rock. Venusaur obviously stomping Graveler, and then Meganium obviously stomping Golem. I'm not going to shield here. I'm going to save the shield for Tropius. My Tropius has a little bit of HP left and should be able to farm down this Meganium. The main problem here is this Lickitung is going to be close to a Body Slam. I'm going to save the shield for that instead. The Frenzy Plant or Earthquake is going to deal almost nothing at all. And then I just have to get to this Leaf Blade. And I think they know that that is all she wrote right there. I'm going to pick up another win. And that was not a triple hard counter team. Just a double hard counter team. Still able to pull out that win. Obstagoon lead. This is kind of a tricky one too. A lot of Obstagoon players counting up to 11 recently for their Gunk Shot, even if they're not running it. Kind of have to respect it as Tropius. I don't know if it one-shots or not, but at the same time, no one's actually ever thrown a Gunk Shot at me. So I will continue not to shield. That's okay. As soon as someone does throw a Gunk Shot at me, I feel like they'll deserve that win for actually going for it. So I don't mind letting that through. They shield once and are going to get to another move. I obviously can't shield here, because if they boost, it's going to go very poorly for me. And they do. So good thing I didn't shield there, because I'm definitely going to have to shield now. They go for a Night Slash here, which means they actually did have Gunk Shot, and they were just trying to bait me. In comes Lanturn, and let's see if the same technique works here. Can I count to 10 multiple times in a row? I'm going to throw the Stone Edge at 10. Remember, if you don't remember how to count to 10, use your fingers. There's exactly 10 of them. So you should be able to know exactly when they throw Hydro Pump, CMP tie, and then now this Lanturn is a great farm down position for either my Tropius or my Graveler. I come with the Tropius because I can get more farm off of it because my fast moves deal less damage. In comes the Marowak, and the Alolan Graveler, or sorry, Golem is here. I do have to let a Bone Club through at some point. I probably should let the first one through, because if they were throwing Shadow Bone and they got the debuff, it would be a little bit of a disaster. So a little bit of a mistake for me. Definitely should have no-shield that one, right? The first one. But they throw their second Bone Club, and you can see how much HP Golem lives with. It's able to take down the Obstagoon, and then should be able to just barely take down that Marowak. And even if it didn't, my Tropius was loaded with a couple of Leaf Blades there. And a Leaf Blade probably would have been enough at that point in the Alolan Marowak's life. Next game, we have a Lanturn lead. This is where you want to see it, right? They actually stay in, which, honestly, there's been... The team building in Holiday Cup has been very weird. There's a lot of teams that are like triple weak to things and just very poorly team built, or double weak. So, for example, like that team that was triple weak to Rock, or this team that can't swap their Lanturn out of the Tropius lead. And the thing is with this Lanturn and Tropius lead, every time shields are traded, Tropius ends up with extra energy because Tropius only takes 12 turns to get to its moves, whereas Lanturn takes, I think, 16, so you get 4 turns. I'm going to swap out eventually because now that Lanturn is too low to get to a Hydro Pump. And in comes Trevenant. Trevenant matchup is something you might want to pay careful attention to as well. I don't know if I play it properly here. Yeah, with Seed Bomb, it doesn't actually faint you. So if they swap slow enough, which is generally the case, or the case so far every time, might be IV dependent too, you can get to a Stone Edge every time. You throw a Rock Blast, it's not going to take them out. So make sure you have those diamond hands and you get to that Stone Edge. Even if they're refusing to throw, what I do is I just wait till I get to the Stone Edge, and if they throw the Seed Bomb, it hasn't KO'd me yet, and then I get the Stone Edge off. So being able to KO the Trevenant there is a very big deal. Winning switch. In this case, they only get to Thunderbolt. I know that already. And in comes the Golbat. So this is not a matchup you want your Golbat to be in. And if you watch my last video on how Golbat is fantastic, you'll know that how this game ends already. And this is typical Golbat contribution from the opposing team right here. They're going to bait, and then they're not even going to get to a Shadow Ball, because that is how fast move pressure works. So really, they should have went for the Shadow Ball for the off chance where I lag and can't shield or something, and that is the win condition. Right? So yet another win. Yeah, like I said, this team has been killing it. It's a good team. In comes Venusaur lead. This is great. And in comes Lapras. This is a bit tricky. So Lapras and Shadow Lapras, kind of tough. I think, well, with this lag, I think this benefited me, assuming we both actually got the same amount of moves in. But either way, you win the 2 shield here just by farming down. Make sure you throw a Rock Blast though. Same with Dugong. So essentially the same matchup versus both of them. But yeah, unfortunately, this team doesn't have a very hard Lapras answer. So if you do want to keep Switch versus Lapras, which you kind of do when they have a Venusaur lead, then you need to blow shields. Unfortunately, I'm not going to quite make it to the Stone Edge, but I hope that I can make them think I will. No, I can't believe they're counting. Fantastic counting by my opponent. Going to come in with the Tropius, but in the back is Shadow Aerodactyl, and this is a very interesting matchup here. Golem can farm it down before it gets to a move, but Graveler cannot. So if you ever see an Aerodactyl come in, you need to go into your Golem instead of your Graveler. And I have lost a game like that, or 2 games like that, I guess, and I've since learned that, yes, bring your Golem into the Aerodactyl if it is a hard switch from them. Just slightly higher attack weighted. Another A9, this time Charm once again. I'm going to swap out, and another Charmer. Wow, am I playing against the Fabled Triple Charm team? So it looks like I'm only going to be able to get to 1 move, and that's why I throw late, right? Because I'm trying to judge how many moves I can get to. If I can get to 2 moves, maybe I Rock Blast. But instead, no reason to not go for the Stone Edge. I'm going to come with the Tropius and try and farm this Wigglytuff all the way down. Wigglytuff does get Ice Beam, so that will KO or get Tropius extremely low. So I will have to shield that up, but at this point, Wigglytuff might be in farm down range for Tropius, and this is an absolutely huge farm. 2 full Leaf Blades is going to be absolutely the difference maker against Alolan Ninetales if it comes back in. But unfortunately, it is Shadow Aerodactyl, and once again, I'm going to go into this Golem, and because I swapped slowly, because I wasn't just mashing that button, I'm forced to take a move there, and now there is no shot for my Tropius to win this game. So this is what happens if you swap a little bit slow in that Shadow Aerodactyl matchup. You lose. So try and be fast on your fingers for that matchup in particular. But yeah, if you swap an A Graveler, you lose for sure. So anyways, another 4 wins. That's 4 wins, 4 wins, 4 wins. And that's 3 4-1 sets, and I 4-1 enjoyed this team quite a bit. And if you guys 4-1 enjoy this video, please leave a like, comment, or subscribe to the channel. Thank you, and thanks for watching.